Hi there. My name is Barry Benson, and I'm a graduate student at the University of Texas at Arlington. I am going to be presenting Results That Last by Quint Studer. We're going to be having a discussion about this book, the purpose, the intended audience, strengths and weaknesses, and we're going to do a critical analysis on this particular piece of work. So, beginning, we want to talk about Quint Studer's qualifications. Quint has a master's degree and initially worked in special education. He joined healthcare administration environment after battling a bout of alcoholism, and he sought treatment. And in seeking that treatment, he found a connection to the healthcare administrative environment. He became the CEO of Baptist Hospital in Pensacola, Florida, and had multiple successes in his role. He leveraged those successes to begin consulting with other hospital companies and eventually formed his own consultant company, the Studer Group. He has published multiple books on leadership and healthcare business strategies. So, the purpose of Results That Last, at its core, Results That Last is about building systems that promote organizational success. It does give some specific guidance on how to effectively run a healthcare organization from Quint Studer's perspective. It does give some concrete areas of focus in healthcare organization, and it can be extrapolated to individual departmental levels or individual leader levels. It does focus on a few key philosophies for success. So, in terms of Quint Studer's essential philosophies, accountability is probably the most common through line. And it does discuss that accountability is essential in a successful organization and suggests that people that are high performers will leave the organization in an environment where accountability is lax, which will leave either low and or middle performers being the bulk of your workforce. It also extols consistent execution over strategy, suggesting that healthcare organizations know what to do, but they often struggle with how to achieve their vision. He encourages focusing on a few key performance indicators or a few key focus areas instead of having a wide scope of focus when you're trying to correct issues. Um, does encourage building systems that are not dependent on an individual, but can be swapped out and used for different individuals as they come and go in the organization. So you're building a process, not being dependent on a person. It encourages using data to drive decision making and attract performance. Uh, it does extol that employee engagement is essential. And in order to get that engagement, you have to celebrate success, communicate effectively, and continuously promote a positive culture. In that same vein, it suggests that consistent leadership is crucial across all departments and areas, which indicates that alignment is essential. And it does encourage you to promote a continuous culture of improvement at your organization so that it is standard that everybody continues to grow and improve in the organizations that you work in. So, the target audience, the book appears to be written primarily for healthcare executives. However, the philosophies in the book are applicable for every level of healthcare leadership, from the CEO all the way down to an individual supervisor on a dedicated unit or department. These philosophies are good, but they do require senior leadership buy-in, especially in the sense of leadership alignment, and accountability practices. So, strengths and weaknesses of this book. The strengths, it is applicable at all levels of leadership. It is applicable to most healthcare organizational structures, if not all. And the book does a good job about openly acknowledging how difficult it can be to hold individuals accountable consistently, which is refreshing to hear and probably crucial for emerging leaders to understand. The weakness is it is written before the COVID-19 pandemic, healthcare cultural revolution. A lot has changed since COVID, and this book was written pre-COVID. It does seem like the book was written at a time where healthcare workforce was relatively stable. And I say relatively, I recognize that the nursing shortage is not a new issue, but I do believe that COVID exacerbated that. It focuses on recruiting and retaining high quality talent and coaching suboptimal talent up and out, with the assumption that suboptimal talent is easily replaced, which I would contest it may not be. Was written before informatics-based data streams are as robust as they are today and focuses on a few key metrics, which may be more challenging in our current environment where data streams are so much more robust. And the one thing that I've found is a potential significant deficit of the book, it does not mention political environments and stakeholder buy-in, which is essential to getting anything accomplished in the modern healthcare environment. I would say that there's no argument that Quint Studer was tremendously successful in his time. Many organizations use his philosophies. Most of Studer's philosophies are still present in healthcare leadership today. Results that last philosophies are largely system-based and are being replaced by meaningful human connection leadership philosophies in the current post-COVID era. Studer's philosophies have fallen out of favor in individual-based leadership and are replaced by other thought leaders and humanistic philosophers such as Brene Brown or Simon Sinek. So for further action in terms of system-based thinking, there's still a place for results that last. When looking at accountability, limiting areas of focus, and promoting consistent execution, Studer's principles are very applicable. When considering the virtues of leading, supporting, and growing an individual, Studer's methodology may not be the most current or best approach any longer. So this author's final recommendation would be when you're thinking about system design, channel Quint Studer. When you're dealing with an individual in our current healthcare environment, channel Simon Sinek or Brene Brown or other humanistic-based thought leaders for the best results. Here is my reference page. You can also refer to this in the handout that I will be including in this assignment. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me, and I hope you have a great day.